It is Kieran Trippier. It is delicious! Glorious! Glorious!
Walker in there too. Luke Shaw! Harry Kane wants it played into him. He chooses Grealish instead. It's Grealish! It's Kane! I think like this has happened for a long time. Here's the overhead kick from Kane! Palmer finds Watkins. Watkins turns! Watkins scores!
Hello and welcome to the Gate 102 podcast. I hope I find you well. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. It's always appreciated. Game number 65 of Southgate's tenure I'll be talking about today. And it was England against Andorra away from home. Now this was England's 6th game of their World Cup qualifying campaign. And going into this game, they were top of the group by 4 points. And they're actually undefeated and had not lost a game. Unfortunately, their 100% winning record came to an end as they conceded to Poland late on in stoppage time in the previous game to this. So that's what I spoke about in my last episode, so feel free to catch up on that one. But yeah, overall, England were undefeated in a really strong position, top of the group. So on paper, this game against Andorra was always going to be one-sided, and it was an expected win for England. But it still gave us plenty to talk about in terms of performance and some individual performances. So the team then, so England rotated a lot of players, and also their next game was against Hungary, and that was always going to be a more difficult game. So Southgate clearly wanted to rest some players ahead of what was a more difficult game, which I can understand. And also, he'd have wanted to use this game as a chance to give players minutes and see what players could do. So it was Sam Johnston in goal, a back four of Kieran Trippier, who was captain, John Stones, Connor Cody and Ben Chilwell at left back. Midfield was a very attacking midfield of Ward-Prowse playing almost as the deeper midfielder. And in front of him were almost two number 10s in Phil Foden and Jesse Lingard. And then the front three was Saka on the right, Sancho on the left, and leading the line up front was Tammy Abraham. Now this was actually Abraham's first England start since his debut against Germany back in 2017. And that was a goalless draw at Wembley. You may remember that one. Yeah, it was a big night for Tammy and a good opportunity for him to impress. So just moving away from the team, there's a fun fact I found, by the way. I should give credit to the website England Stats for this one. Amazing website. Please do check it out, by the way. But I found out that this game was played on artificial turf. And this is only the second time England played on artificial turf ever. And I'm trying to think of who the first would have been against. Part of me wants to say Lithuania away, but I might be wrong. But if anyone knows the answer, then I would be interested to know. But yes, this was the second time in their history England played on AstroTurf, 3G, 4G, whatever you want to call it. They're all the same to me. But another thing about this ground was, and I've got to mention this, there was actually fire at the stadium where this game was being played, literally like a day or two before England played there. I think the filming gantry burnt down, and there was some debate whether the game would actually go ahead or not because of the fire. But they put some like scaffolding up so the game could be televised. So believe it or not, this game was actually filmed on top of some scaffolding. Yeah, I almost forgot to mention it because when I was researching and writing this episode, I had it all done, and then I was reading an article about it, and it was in The Guardian actually, and it mentioned the fire before the game, and I was like, oh yeah, completely forgot about that. It's because I remember at the time, I think it was Rob Dorset, who was England's, or some other reporter, like talking about the England team, and in the background there's like a fire going on. But yeah, that was that's what happened in this game, or a few days before this game, should I say. Yeah, really interesting. It's something I totally forgot about until I was researching the episode. Anyway, moving away from the stadium to what actually happened on the pitch. So the game kicks off and England did exactly what you expect them to do, really. They control possession immediately. We're talking 85% possession in the opening 10 minutes. Andorra drops into a very deep defensive block, sort of 5-4-1 formation. And that's always difficult to play against because their entire plan was to stay compact, deny space centrally and force England out wide. But I think the key question early on was how quickly could England get that opening goal? And thankfully, 17 minutes into the game, England got the breakthrough, and it came from rather an unlikely source. Left-back Ben Chilwell got his first England goal to give us the lead against Andorra. Now, this goal was originally given offside, but after a VAR check, the decision was overruled and the goal stood. And it was a really well-worked goal. Phil Foden with a lovely ball over the defence, and Sancho, who turns out he was onside in the end, he touched it down for Chilwell, who struck the ball with his left foot first time into the bottom corner. An amazing finish and a special moment for the Chelsea left-back at the time, and first England goal, always special. And it was nice for England to get that goal early on. And at 1-0, the game essentially shifted from let's keep it tight defensively to almost damage limitation for Andorra, because with a team of England's quality, there was no way the home side were really going to get back in the game. So for them, it was almost like I say, damage limitation. Let's try not to concede as many goals, even though the game's already lost. But England managed to score another and double their lead just before half-time. Bukayo Saka scoring a wonderful goal with his left foot. And that made it 2 goals in 2 games for Saka, as he scored against Andorra at Wembley as well. But once again, it was Phil Foden getting on the ball and making things happen. Played a lovely through ball to Saka, just unlocked the defence with one great pass. And yeah, Foden was outstanding in this game. I know it was only Andorra, but you can only beat what's in front of you. And Foden was involved in both the goals in the first half. But yeah, really good goal for Saka. A nice moment in front of the England fans as well, who were all packed behind that goal. Yeah, it was rather special. And going into half-time at 2-0, the game almost felt done. We knew the game was won. But the question was whether England would push on and get more goals, or almost go into cruise control and just settle at 2 or 3. And thankfully, England picked off where they left off, as they came out the blocks very quickly early on in the second half. And just before the hour mark, Tammy Abraham got his goal, getting to the ball before the goalkeeper poking it past him into the back of the net. A great cross from Sancho. And yeah, Abraham, just right place, right time to score England's third. And this was a really special moment for Tammy, because the England fans were singing his name behind the goal. It was only his second England start, his second England goal as well, the last one coming against Montenegro at Wembley in a 7-0 win, and that was back in 2019. So it was about time he got another England goal to his name. And at this point, he was almost the understudy to Harry Kane, and he was doing brilliantly for Roma in Serie A. So yeah, this goal sort of capped off what was a great spell for the striker, for both club and country. So yeah, England were 3-0 up, and we continued to triumph after that as well. As 3 goals soon became 4, as James Ward-Prowse scored a rebound from a penalty. He actually missed the original penalty, but he went on to score the rebound with his left foot to make it 4-0 to England. And this was actually his second England goal, and his second goal in the qualifying campaign, as his other goal was against San Marino, which came in March of that year, also Wembley. So, yeah, nice moment for Ward-Prowse. And then the fifth and final goal, and there's that saying, isn't there? Last one, best one. And this was certainly the case in terms of this game, as the fifth goal here was definitely the pick of the bunch, and it was scored by Jack Grealish, who claimed his first international goal. An amazing moment for him. And it had been coming as well, as this was his 17th game for his country, so it was about time he got off the mark. But a really nice finish. But the assist was what made the goal. Goalkeeper Sam Johnstone threw the ball probably about 60, 70 yards, something stupid. He threw the ball. It'll probably take me 2 big kicks to get the distance. He threw it. I mean, unbelievable throw. Out of nowhere, he just got the ball, threw it over everyone's head, onto Grealish, and then Grealish took a few touches and then fired it hard and low into the bottom left corner. But yeah, the goal was great, but the assist was even better, and it was the sort of thing you'd see in American football. It's like a quarterback throw. But yeah, really good goal. But overall, it was a 5-star performance from England, loads of positives to take, and it was 3 points closer towards qualification for the 2022 World Cup. I mean, going into the game, it was obvious that England should have won, but to do it so convincingly on a surface that they're not used to playing on as well, and to score 5 goals is really good, especially against a team who try and make it difficult for you by sitting back. Yeah, England were really good in this game. I think a key takeaway from this game was the squad depth. Obviously, Southgate rotated heavily, and this was almost a backup team in a way, apart from maybe 1 or 2. This was pretty much the backup team. And they all played so well and made a name for themselves. And it made it very hard for Gareth to pick the team for Hungary in the next game because of how well the players had played in this game. And a lot of players really did step up and make a name for themselves. So it was going to be more difficult to pick the team in the following game against Hungary. And I'll be delving into that game in my next episode. So England v Hungary at Wembley coming your way next week. And that was also another World Cup qualifier. So thank you for listening to this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, really appreciate you tuning in. And until next time, until next week, take care of yourselves, and I'll speak to you soon.